Hello, everybody, and if you're tired of my face, well, you're going to get a little bit more of it right now. Thank you for joining me here. Traders Stay Late. This is your market recap show. We do have Chris Brecher coming today from Simpler Trading. He wants to talk about reversion plays on earnings stocks. So what a perfect opportunity to discuss that here this week as we get ready for the big guys coming right now. Not right now, but on Friday, the banks coming through. Plus, we have a couple big reports in the next couple days as well. So it's going to be a good one as this show normally is. I want to say what's up to everybody who is here right now. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining all of us as we go. What's up to Grey Worm? Hey, Grey Worm, how was your day trading, more importantly? Mine was splendid, and we're going to get over some of those trades as we go. What's up to Daryl? Professor Love is in the building right now. That's a good name. Ponzi Fonzie is here. Peter's here. And like I said, man, the hashtag for this is Traders Stay Late. But we're not going to stay too late. We got the death clock up, 28 minutes, and then I get yanked out of here. But generally, we can stay a little bit later. Thank you so much, Austin. Thank you so much, John, and everybody that's here for this. You know, this show was sort of brought on by Brendan has his what's happening now, and we have recaps throughout the day, but often we don't touch maybe enough on some of the key sectors. So shout out to Trade Ideas, who built this for me. Shout out to Michael Noss, and we're going to go over that right now. What a day on the market. It's always nice when I can open up our ETF watch list right here, which is covering all the sectors, and pretty much be dominated by Greensville, right? We like to see the dark green. That's a little bit more of an aggressive day. And then down here, what was red today? We like to see this, man. If we're going to look at CPI data, so on and so forth, then yeah, we are going to watch out for oil. And what is oil doing? I've sort of thought that this move there, and like I said, man, just praying for world peace every single day. But oil, you know what? Actually been pretty resilient to the downside on this move, right? I mean, if you're going to look at USO right here, we still have I'm saying we go on to a daily chart right here real quick. I thought we would have came in this was Monday, it was Friday, right? Coming in on Monday with, I think it was only about a 3% bump up. Considering what we saw there in the Middle East, I was pretty bullish on oil. But if you didn't get out right there, now you're back down and you're creeping into some of those lows again. I really feel like, and again, hate to talk like this, but if Iran gets involved and some of these more oil-producing nations, Saudi Arabia sort of backed a little bit of the Israeli side. Not that we're taking sides here, but if they get involved, the Saudis, that's going to be an oil-producing nation, so is Iran. And then we've already talked about the US and Canada, you know, what their position is as not big oil producers, but apparently they've said that oil can now be produced both in Canada and the US to meet that demand. So although the SPR still, they got to fill that back up, that remains an issue right now. Middle East conflict there for oil. Oil today, you could see down that 1.46% coming back in just a little bit. XLV, okay, this is the healthcare index down. What a nice run that's been on as of late as well. We've seen some beat up names, man. Pfizer's been pretty beat up lately. Bristol, I mean, look, check out Bristol Myers. I was actually looking at this the other day. Obviously, Eli Lilly helped the market out today in the space, more on the biotech side of things with their new drug there, Mounjaro, and then Ozempic with Novo Nordisk. We keep talking about that as well. And again, the more studies that come out about how these drugs are helping various aspects, right? Depression, it keeps on going. Alcohol, like, being able to wean off of something, very, very important drug. The word I'm looking for is slipping my mind as we go, but that's what that is. And again, Check's watch, 15,000 words today. No, can you even, I said, someone message me if you can actually do that. I think that would be pretty interesting. And then, here we go. Filled up my water today. Get your Trader TV Live. Hit the hydration. Oh, I don't think we have the Hydration Nation on demand. That's a nice sound there. I used to have a huge water bottle. Maybe we'll bring that back. It's still there. I got to see that. I got to wash that and fill that bad boy back up. But let's go to the sector recap right now. XLE, we've talked about trying to get out of some of this one. We have gotten out of some, but not enough. XLE, nice move back up to the 50 period. That's going to be a great out at 89 if you can do that. I don't know if we see these highs again. I would like to think that oil could still go back up to the upside just for reasons. But, you know, as I said, we'll wait on that story as we go. KRE going to be really interesting. We have regional banks also starting to report into the end of the week and into next week. So we'll wait to see what's going on with that. Let me just see when, let's go Western. WAL, when are they reporting? October 19th, so exactly. They're coming through pretty soon as well. Wells Fargo, we know that's on Friday. That's not going to necessarily be a regional bank either, but, you know, Wells Fargo known as that. Wells Fargo reporting there on Friday, so we can have a quick look at that. The XLF today holding fort. We've already gone over some of these names. They all look real bad, man. Morgan looks bad right now. Look at this. Also heading to the downside, well below its 200 and its 50. Yuck. Puke emoji right now. Fail. Goldman Sachs also well under, right? A lot of these names looking pretty sick. I don't even want to call up... I don't even want to call up Uncle Warren's positions. WFC downside. And then what about BAC as well? I mean, they just keep on getting hit. But maybe you made that bottom. I feel like you could pick some of these up if you want to get a little bit of yield, put some money back into here. I like these banks, but hey, if the banks are going to perform well, then why not just stick with the guy that's been performing the best, Mr. Jamie Dimon. And if Sharif was here, he'd call him Jeremy, but it's Jamie. Look at this, nice move, bouncing off the 200. All these other banks are well under. This is the report that we wait for. It's Jamie Dimon. It's JPM. We do have that. We do have Jamie Dimon can phone us at any time as well, but I think he's too busy right now trying to figure out everything with his bank, so we'll get that going. The largest money center bank in the world, JP Morgan, trying to hold fort on the XLF. Of course, SPY and Qs often will trade similar, but they don't have to trade exact. Today, SPY pulling back in just a little bit again. Some of those banks and energy stocks that do not exist in the triple Qs exist here in the SPY. And again, this is the S&P 500. So as you can see, market cap doesn't matter that much, but 374 billion right now. That's just ETF flow. So we can watch out for that. What else is here? Gold today with the nice move up. And again, in just a couple of seconds, we're going to have Chris Brecher coming through to talk all about reversion trades heading into earnings. So I think that's going to be pretty cool to hear about that. FXI, remember yesterday, look, I'll take credit when we talk about these things because I take faults on the way down as well. We talked about buying some FXI. We said there was some China stimulus hitting, right? That was 2 days ago. FXI, bump up again today, another 1%. If you took that, put that 1% in your pocket. I think you want to get ready to close this position the closer we get to $28. So watch out for that. That's the 50-period moving average. Again, if China's putting stimulus in the economy, I don't think we won't see it here in the U.S. We're just going to have to wait. Remember, China's also, guys, they're also not releasing any more economic data. They're going to release a few economic data points, but not the big ones that we're looking for, GDP, so on and so forth. So we got to be careful about some of this Chinese data that we wind up hearing about, especially when they're going to talk about stimulus. Youth unemployment, the last number that they dropped was something like 27%, okay, in China. That is dangerous, okay, because if they can't find jobs, as you get more and more, and I don't know if this is true for China, but I know the workforce is getting older here in North America, so they're supposed to retire, pass the keys off to the youth. If that's not happening, you could see unemployment start to skyrocket. And I know it's well under control, so says the Fed and some of these numbers that we're seeing here in North America and Canada. But can that be the case if we have a larger workforce? And then all you're hearing is companies getting more efficient, meaning job cuts. We've seen that come through. There are companies that are hiring hand over fist, don't get me wrong, but there's also some job cuts that we've definitely been privy to. Meta, Amazon even. The problem with Amazon is they can announce a job cut, but they just hired like 10,000. So when they, get rid of 1,000, it's kind of like net. Ever since we've sort of hammered this 200 period, I just hope that a lot of you traders that are with us right now, take advantage of some of these ETFs that we're talking about. The 200 period, and the more and more that I look at this, especially doing this show now for a couple months, the 200 period is such a great level. We've had various CMTs there, charter market technicians, coming on, talking all about the 200 period. Respect that level. Look at TAN. You want to talk about something that's been respected. Look at this. End phase, again, reliable Rudy or anybody that's been in the chat talking about end phase. What a great bottom pick that was down there at 110. Now back to the 50 period. That's a good spot to dump some if you're swing trading. If you're holding, why not, again, wait for some love back into here to 158, 160 or so. When does end phase report? Ooh la la, in 2 weeks. October the 26th, coming through for end phase. Let's see if they can hold fort, man. With a decent short float, I like this name heading into earnings. Okay, before we get Chris, I know he's all ready to go here. Let's talk quickly about Berkshire. Okay, so this is not Berkshire Hathaway, this is Birkenstocks, as we just kid around about that one. Let's just call it up here. We can do a 5-minute chart because it only has today on it, so this is its birthday. Happy birthday today. We'll go a little bit less than that. Let's just go a 2-minute chart. Happy birthday today to Birkenstock. It IPO'd at 41 bucks. It ripped up to the upside. It started hitting about 42. You know what? This probably looks cleaner on a 1 minute. I have my trades. We're going to show that in a minute. There, we can actually maybe zoom back out just a little bit here. No, it will not. So there it is. Nice move to the upside. Back in 42.19, the high. Then we started to drip down. We really did kind of respect the 50 period there. We did break a little bit higher. So now let's go over to how your boy traded this. BIRK right now. So look, we talk about this every single day. Even on Instacart, I took that opening print. ARM, we took that opening print. Lavio, we must have, because this is the trade. So here it is right here. Here's my trade today. Maybe we can zoom in just a little bit to see a little cleaner. There it is. So there's the 41 IPO open. Okay, I'm not going to make the mistake of not getting out again as I see this move go to the upside. So immediately we were out of 40%. One tranche there at 20 cents, one tranche again at 45, then again at 60, then again at 75. Now it rips all the way to 42 bucks. Not a surprise that it stops there, right? Even dollar levels. This just opened up. You're not going to get options on this stock. So key levels like that, $42, those are retail selling spots, because if you got your shares at 41, you may just be there to take a buck for a trade. So there's the stop there. Then look at this. Once everybody realizes that the stop is 42, look at this flush back in. And yes, we did get lighter on this flush. So we start to come back in right there. 41.50, another out. Then we get out some for flat. But we're still holding, it's all good. At this point, we said it went up $1, so let's give it back to 41. So we don't get, or 40, sorry, give it $1. The top side was $1, the bottom side will be $1. We're already out of it at this point, 60% of our trade. Then it rips all the way back up to the upside, and at this point, we're like this. Eyes getting bigger, hitting some bang ups, because there it is, man. We get out at 41.80, of course we do. The top was 42, right? Boom, blows up there, 42.37. By the way, hit the like and hit the subscribe. Not going to ask again. 165 people hit the like button so far. Over 2,000 watching live right now. Click that little like button, man. Let us know that you like the show. We're staying late for you. Wow, look at that. There it is. Burke just broke 40 right now, live here again. So nice move to the downside. Now, anyways, we reloaded. Nice little reload there at 40.50. Back out there for $1. Reload again, out. Reload, out. And then, unfortunately, near the end of the day, we had to get out for flat. Then it was coming close to breaking 40. We got out there at 40.07 or whatever it was, as we had to come over here. It doesn't matter, though. The end of the day was the end of the day. A little bit of a bump up right there to hit. Ooh, you know what stock? Chris, I know you're listening. He always talks about today we actually got a closing imbalance trade. Hold on, let me just check my stats here, because Brendan gave it to us. Oh, he gave it to us in the show chat. Let me just go double check what it was. Okay, so it was 1.7 million to buy. Okay, I knew it was billion, sorry. So that's a big number. So let's go and have a quick little look. I know Chris has told us that you can get long into here. So this might have made sense. Maybe they got long off of 436. right there in the last couple seconds. I don't have the tape here with me. I have it right here, but I can't scroll back. But the last couple seconds, and we only have minute charts on here, but it does look like you did get a little bit of a move up there. We'll see if Chris and some of the traders that are with him or whatnot were able to make that little trade there at the end of the day with 0-day expiry options there on the SPY. So just quickly here, some chat about what we saw with Birkenstock today. Let's just call this back up, and we are going to get Chris in just a couple of seconds, as 4:15 is generally our time. They raised about 495 million there. Almost 11 million ordinary shares up on the float right here. The target valuation, 9 billion. They came close to that. They opened up at 41. The IPO range was between 40 and 45, so they nailed that one. It's a real super old company, man. Check this, 250-year-old company, Birkenstock. I bet you Chris has a pair of Birkenstocks. I'm going to ask him that when we come on in just a couple of seconds there. Family owned until 2021, where they sold the majority stake. LVMH is involved. Pop culture appeal. It's Birkenstock. It's a good name. There's the break. We really had hoped that we broke 40 during tomorrow's show, during the live open market. There's the break of 40. Imagine that happened while we were trading. Oh man, me and Neil are gonna hate this. Nice move to the downside there on Burke. This screen is tilted for me. I just wanna see TPST. I don't know if this is up Chris's wheelhouse or not. We're gonna have him in just a couple seconds. TPST, it's only up 4,000% today. So nice little move right there as we continue to go. New member, thank you so much to everybody that's joining. Fan funding, we just had a new member. Welcome Cello right now. By member, all you have to do, it's $5 a month to support the show. Thank you so much, Cello, for that. Now you can participate in the chat just by being a subscriber, not a member. So that's another thing right there. Look at this. Where else? Where else? You find a show, where else right now at 4:17 are they going to be talking about TPST and showing you live damn quotes right now as there goes TPST. Nice move back up to the upside right now, ripping off 1060 up to $11 right there. And guess what? It can't halt right now. So let's see what happens now. It's only been open. Nice move up to 1150, supported the 21 period moving average. And there goes TPST. I'm not smart enough, but here come all these calculations. Try to figure out. I said we just rip off today. So there it goes, and it happened there in the in the aftermarket. I don't know what prices we're going to see on this, but I do know. Are we ready, Fabian? It is now time. Let's hit Trader Talk. Mr. Chris Brecher, thank you so much for joining me one more time here today. First question I have for you, what's up with your plumbing? How has that been? How has the recovery been at the Brecher household?
It's real pleasant. So at least we've had incredibly dry weather. So, I mean, this is one of those things where they cut the air conditioning ducts and water pours out.
Ouch.
So it was bad, but it's been dry for so long that everything dried out. Now we got to deal with contractors and insurance agents. So that's where we are with that. It's anybody that's dealt with that, it's a process, and it's not a pleasant process. It makes you want to short Allstate, that's for sure.
Oh man, I was gonna say, yeah, sorry about that. You never want, the less interaction you can have with anybody, I feel like is better, generally speaking, when you're dealing with insurance. Just get the quote, come in, fix everything, but you always have to go back and forth. They never want to pay out, right? So no offense to anybody that's in insurance. That's kind of one of those things. All right, did you trade that TPST at all today? Did you notice that? We were just talking about it.
No, I didn't even know about it until just now.
Here it is right
there. Well, I'll tell you, almost every time I've seen something like this, what happens is it's a developmental stage company.
Yep.
Almost every time they have, let's say, a phase 1 trial, that the stock goes up, the next day they dump a secondary on you. The problem is I was hoping they'd have options so you could go and just buy some out of the money puts. But I'm telling you, almost every time you see a phase 1 trial like this, you see them dump a secondary the next couple of days because they're developmental. They don't have any sales.
Right.
So we'll see if they dump a secondary. But the key is from where? I mean, sure, it could be 50. But for me, if you start seeing this kind of speculation, it's great for a lot of the other small stocks. So I have to start scanning some of the other stocks that have high short interest, especially at this time of year, which is historically strong. So I'm going to try to do that. Let's just see if they dump a secondary the next couple of days.
Yeah, and there's going to be no better place for anybody to be than right here at Trader TV Live, because we drop those as they happen live. So make sure anybody watching right now, we will have that secondary offering for you. And I think that will happen because, like you said, they're early stage, they need capital. It wouldn't make sense to do that. It's a function of the market. I don't think there's anything shady about it. It is what happens. Okay, Chris, you sent me an email this morning and I'm gonna read it. Today I'd like to talk about the reversion trade with stocks prior to earnings. And then you asked me, is that okay? I responded, hey man, this is all about you, Chris, so let's go. If you have any ideas for us as traders, you've given us some great ones in the past. I'm never gonna forget that transport one with UPS. You absolutely nailed that for the viewers. So let's go start talking about this reversion trade that you had in mind.
Okay, by the way, we bought IYT today around 234.
Let me see.
So just to let you know, I think it was 234. I could have the digits wrong, but let's
come over to my screen here, guys. 230. Oh, hey, look, if you pick 234, man, then yeah, you're pretty good, Chris. That's a great little level right there.
Yeah, 234.29.
Nice. I like that. Did you have a stop there? Or was this always meant to be a swing overnight?
IYT, we just bought it when the whole bond started rallying and just the ES started rallying. I'm like, let's grab onto one of the laggards. So that's why we got an IYT. When it comes though to overnight, usually what we do, and we did it this time, we sold half. So we made like $1.30 on half.
Right at the 200 period. You're right at the 200 period on the daily. That actually could go. And this is what I mean, Chris, like traders stay late. That's the hashtag for this show. I mean, this is, again, another great idea for many traders that are sitting here watching. I mean, you're not, again, IYT, great name. All right, we don't have much time left here as we always have too much fun on the show. But again, we cut the show when we want, but let's go over, let's get some ideas here. We can do a screen share, so it's on you right now. Let's go talk about this. I see you have Walgreens Boots Alliance up right there. So again, a name that's coming through with earnings. Let's go.
Okay, a lot of times with these stocks, if you get the market to open up, so the ES opened up, and a company has earnings the next morning, a lot of times you can fade it. Let's say it got pulled up because of the broad market. Look on the right. It got pulled up. Look at the opening. Holy cow. So what happens is it comes back to unchanged. Just comes back to unchanged because traders want to flatten their books by the end of the day. The caveat is you want to be sure that when that happened, the market wasn't going straight up. It did later, but at the time, the markets were real choppy. So a lot of times we do these reversion trades. And I'll show you on where I would initiate. Now, we had our hands full because we were doing some other stuff with PXD versus Exxon. That's something else. But basically in here, when you see this going up like this on the opening, we're not going to hit the exact top. We try to get that right there when it broke there.
Right.
So we didn't get the top, but you got that. You got that next 70 cents on a $20 stock. So, I mean, so that worked great. As you see the little bear flags in here. The other way to do it, if you see these candles and you see the red candles and you see it take back that big green candle, usually you can initiate a short right there versus the high.
Right.
But I like to do it on the way down.
Yeah, play the momentum back in. But Walgreens Boots Alliance is tomorrow pre-market, right?
Right. So the thing is that today you were betting on it flattening out by the end of the day. Okay. So either tonight or tomorrow morning, those kind of trades. We do them for the next month. And like my friend Danielle is going to have a webinar on the way she trades, earnings trades. It's different than me, but she's having a webinar tonight. Got to plug her webinar, no doubt about it. But she's going to have something on earnings too.
Ms. Danielle Shea, one of the favorites on the show as well. So, yeah, let's go, man. Join Danielle Shea and Simpler Trading. You can go find them and Chris on board there. Okay, have you ever looked, not have you ever, obviously you have, the banks. I mean, let's kick it off now. Earnings season is here. We kind of started with Pepsi yesterday or the day before. They had a good report, up 2% on that. They've been really hit to the downside. I've been looking at XLF and things like that, but that Pepsi move, it's a nice move back into that 160, 163 area, trying to hold the bottoms of 160. Did you have any plays there on Pepsi? And then if not, we can almost move right over to the banks. I like the way JP Morgan is setting up here. It's a strong name. And let's maybe talk about that. Would you rather trade a name that's weaker, looking for a bounce back up, or play the strength in a strong name off of a good report? For me, I'd rather trade the latter, play the momentum in the strong names, and for me, that's JP Morgan.
Well, the way I look at it with the earnings is I take the Pepsis of the world, and I'm looking at that the stock has gotten nailed prior to earnings. So basically, the bad news is out, and sure enough, it reacted well to it. So I'm looking at the beginning of the earnings season to see if stocks close near their high prior to the earnings. Like, did they surge prior to earnings? And a lot of times then they're a fade on earnings, and the opposite with Pepsi. The problem with the JP Morgan as opposed to Citigroup, well, it really comes down to it's had a good move. It's had about a 5-point rally. And a lot of times when it has that kind of rally, then it sells off on earnings because they've already factored in some good stuff.
Okay.
Citigroup, on the other hand, like last time, look how that rallied prior to earnings. Right in here, and then it got nailed on earnings. So it's just, to me, it's if they rally into earnings or they sell off into earnings, and I try to do the opposite. So if I see Citigroup, as you see, Citigroup has really had a nice rally. But if you see it like here tomorrow, like at the 42 level, you got to think they've already factored in some good news. And then you can fade that. So in answer to your question, I'd rather fade a Citigroup.
Okay.
Especially if it has a little more of a rally.
I've actually noticed too, Chris, and maybe you could speak with some more experience. I feel like the banks do fade off of earnings reports. Like, you can come in at 9:30 or whatever and see a bank up 4, 5, 6%, but very rarely does it end up there. So I think you're probably right on that one. I'm going to change my opinion a little bit from trying to go long on strength for earnings reports to maybe fading weak names on their reports. Citigroup being, maybe number one on my mind for that. I don't like the way BAC is pairing off either. Okay, do you have any thing you'd like to plug? I know you just mentioned Danielle Shea coming through there. I know everybody can find you there on Twitter. All the information is below. You have anything coming up or any rooms that you're a part of or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm going to be in this Trader Summit in Orlando for Simpler on October 28th, where you can meet me. The VIPs get a poker tournament, get a meet and greet. But I'm going to be doing in November a class on short selling.
Okay.
So unfortunately, it's usually the strongest time of the year, but I always find something on the short side, like you just saw with Walgreens Boots Alliance. Yep. Whether it's a 1 minute, a 60-minute, a daily, but a whole thing on short selling. If you go to YouTube or on Google, there really isn't like an entire setup on how to do it, including indicators. So I'm working on slides on that in between contractors.
I'm seeing on the chat here, I asked if there was any questions. People apparently love it when you say holy cow, and apparently you would know what that's a reference to there with Harry Carey there. Options, is that your favorite to trade, or are you still more into equities? If you had a preference, these are just questions from the chat. Quick little 10-second answer, Chris.
When it comes to earnings, let's say JP Morgan pre-opening, I'm going to sit there and trade stock.
Okay, so stock on that one, especially when there's earnings. Okay, any opinion? And this is not going to be a 10-second question. Maybe I'll give you 25. AI. Are you buying this whole hype in AI right now? Just not the stock, but just in general. This huge move up in Nvidia. Some of these chip names. Do you like sort of this talk with technology here, or you think it's a little bit overblown, and we'll just wait to see for Nvidia and names like that?
The problem with this is I like playing, let's say, the NASDAQ with the bonds, and the bond market getting nailed over the last 3 months. You would think the NASDAQ, because of price earnings and price sales that are so high in the NASDAQ, that the NASDAQ would underperform. But with this AI, it's like 2000, 1999, 2000, that you just have to wait for the big reversal signals before you just try to pound it out on the downside. On the upside, just like NVIDIA, it's getting up near its high. It's really tough to play it into earnings on the long side.
Yeah, I agree. I think you got to wait for earnings for all of these plays. Thank you so much. And Noah, that's from Noah in the chat, that question. So again, Chris, thank you so much. I'll just wait for my invitation to that Orlando event. I mean, maybe you spelled my email wrong or something like that. But we'll wait for that. Thank you so much, Chris. And good luck with the insurance agents. And we'll cheer on your IYT tomorrow. Chris Brecher, Simpler Trading. You can find him there at Simpler Trading and on X/Twitter. Thank you, Chris. We'll see you next week.
Hey, thanks so much for having me on.
Always a pleasure. Thank you, Chris. That's Trader Talk. Great guy right there. And I want to thank, obviously, Bears versus Bulls for slipping me those questions, trying to pay attention to those charts, man, and get those questions to him. And again, there it is, live on air right there. Ask the best whatever question you want. We do have a Q&A with Brian Shannon coming up next Tuesday, so I got to figure out the best way of gathering those questions and then throwing those down next week as well. So, okay, quickly, because we got to get out of here, man. It's already got that. I just want to do real quick, man. We will do a roll call. Quickly, Tempest still just doing a little dance here at 960, 963. What I want to do is a quick little trade review. So let's go next topic. There it is. I got it. All right. So Google. The reason why I want to do this is not because what? Okay. Oh man, FOMO is real. Why didn't this happen? Why did this happen aftermarket? There's probably news, so I'm just kind of rhetorical right there. But all right, let's just talk about being a real trader, right? We say this all the time on the show, and I'm just trying to be real with everybody. You could short Tempest, you could get involved with many different names, okay, back and forth, but let's talk about trades where you can actually put capital involved in, and this is what I'm trying to do every single day here on the show, right? Whether or not it's AMC, whether or not it's Plug Power, we're trying to be more specific with our trades, and I think we did a really good job today of breaking down why we like this trade here on Google. And if you still held it, all right, why did we buy this name? All right, yeah, thank you so much. Well, who's that over there? Fabian. Thank you so much, Fabian, for dropping down that money. I wish I would have made that much money on this trade, but yeah, shout out to anybody that did. So again, we don't trade Google at all. Now it was on, I don't know if it was on the sticky note, but many longs were. We only had longs written down today. But of course, because we put the sticky note out at 8 o'clock or earlier than that, or sorry, 9 o'clock or earlier, I wrote down levels, and then I said to myself, I didn't really want to get involved too early on names today because I just was a little uncertain when we opened up. But there it is, nice rip up, and we just leave Google alone till 2 o'clock. Now, this is why I chose this name to be something that we wanted to talk about. Here's the break up a little bit high, right? So as the NASDAQ, oh, this is the Google, but as NASDAQ started to go there in the afternoon, we were really like, you know what? This is a strong name. The NASDAQ, as we saw today, only up 0.8% or even less than that. What did the Qs end up here? Hold on a second. Q's up, yeah, 0.8%. So as you can see, Google was well higher, right? So we wanted to get long. So we just started buying ahead of VWAP here. VWAP at this time was at 140.15, 140.20. So a little bit of a buy there as we started to break. So we break the levels we buy. takes them out. Again, these are 40s, out 50, out 60, drops back into the 21 period again, trying to defend this level, putting, again, real capital at risk here. So buying these levels against the VWAP, and at this time, I was giving it a little bit under because we also had protection there at 140, which happened to be the 200 period. Buy, buy, buy. Then this is where the real money happened. So again, buying in here, just making some little trades, right? Trying to top up the account without getting stopped out. Then it falls back in there. We do not have a sell there. That was a keystroke, anybody that watched, which is why we bought it right back. So this is the real buy right there at VWAP 140.15. Our stop at that point was a little bit under 140. We were gonna go to 90s there. We talked about that on the show. So again, about a 20-cent or so stop on that. Boom. Then it starts to go back up to the upside, taking some out at 25, taking some out at 30. Then the majority of these outs are in here between 40 and 50. So that's only giving us a 1-to-1, little bit higher than that 1.5 reward to 1 to 1.5 risk to reward ratio on that one. But again, we have a decent position on. We don't discuss share size, but I'll just tell you it was good. So it was a nice upside move, start to clean it all out. Then we really left on board. And again, I told you the share sizes, the share percentages that we had. We had about 35% left on, right for this move into the close. Unfortunately, we get it after the close and we get it as 4 o'clock hits, but then we just had to start to get some out at 55 and 60, making on that trade about 40 cents with about a 25-cent pullback. So that gives us a good risk to reward. These are the kind of trades that I like to make on big mega cap stocks. So again, let's do a quick little roll call. Who's still here? You can hear my voice is going. So we'll just do this real quick, man. I want to go with a big shout out again to fan funding here. What's up to Cello? What's up to BGZ? Thank you so much for becoming. Again, it's $5. Just goes back into the show. I got to fix this squeaky chair. Maybe I'll buy some WD-40 with this. Thank you so much to AK, man. You know, we're just here. Great show, but to me, this is just what we do. I love being here. Thank you for all the rocket ships as well. What's up to Ozan? What's up to Dees as well? Thank you so much. You did good on Netflix. I think Netflix was a good trade today as well. Thank you, even if lost 200. Okay, what's up to Chris? Yeah, you know, the amount of money that traders lose or make, you know, we just want to make good decisions, right? I think we were talking about that with Neil today as well. Yo. What's up? Can the Dodgers please win a game? That'd be nice. You know, no problem, Johnny. Thank you so much. Thank you, D. Westermeyer, and thank you for everybody. But don't just thank me, man. Let's do it this way. Let's just hit likes. I want to try to get like more likes every day. So today's 350, 1,500 watching. If you haven't done it yet, let's do it right now. All going to say bye to everybody here live in the chat with these see ya with these hands. So again, thank you to everybody for joining. I know that we've got real traders here because real traders stay late. And thank you so much for all this. The wife is not calling me yet, but if you are, I love you. I'm coming home very soon. I actually got in trouble for not phoning her heading into the recap or the closing show, the afternoon show, because I always do that. Say hello to your families for me as well. Give everybody a big hug and kiss, man. This is what it's all about. Stay safe out there. Become a trader if you're not one. Follow the show. Stay disciplined. Consider trading risk managing. I think that's the right way to wrap our head around this. Good luck to all those Tempest longs, as I know that a lot of you have them. Good luck with that tomorrow. We'll be looking at that. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Sean Katina. Make sure you follow me at Trader TV, Sean on X. Follow at Trader TV as well. Follow all of us, obviously. Instagram and all of that. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, if not anything else. All right, I'm Sean Katina. I'm back tomorrow. Here we go. Traders stay late, and ciao.